All right, another piece of equipment that we're going to introduce this year is called a combi board. It's very similar to a long board. It can be used just like your traditional long board, where we log roll the patient, slide it under on a 45, and then put the patient on it, secure them with spider straps. Absolutely can be used like that. The benefit to this board is that it's also a scoop stretcher. So we can pull it apart just like your traditional scoop stretcher and come in from both sides to put the patient on the board. Traditionally, that involves a lot less of a log roll, maybe just a little bit of a tilt so that we can get the board under there nicely. And then it'll have a different strap configuration, which will be more of a seatbelt style strap. Each board will be set up with 2 C-collars as well as the appropriate type of straps for that board. So you may encounter the combi board if you're using a sled at the top of lift 2 or lift 3, or you may encounter a traditional longboard setup if you're pulling a longboard sled from somewhere else on the mountain. So some important functionality of the combi board. We're going to have the straps set up like this, and you'll notice that the seatbelt straps are matching at the top. The same type of buckle is going to be on the top ring. That's so that we don't mistakenly connect these two, because that would be too high. These top 2 straps are going to go across the torso to the opposite side in that fashion, all right? And then below there, down around the hips, it will go straight across like we're used to seeing. And then another one for the legs. Now, the scoop stretcher functionality that we spoke of happens back here. On each side, on the outside, you'll see a sketch on the side of the board for lock and unlock, and then you'll see a lever. You just slide that lever up, and then the scoop comes out, just like a scoop stretcher. And then to piece it back together, you just line it up and pop it back together. And that happens on both sides of the board. All right, so we're going to demonstrate the application of this board onto a patient. And of the 3 of us that are doing this, I'm the only one that's actually used this board. So this is going to be their first run through, just to demonstrate how easy it is to figure out, okay? You'll hear me give out some instructions just like we would on a regular longboard scene, but the steps themselves are all very simple. So we're going to have Lakin assume C-spine on our patient, and then Linwood and I are going to use the mechanism to pull the combi board apart. So you'll notice there's a small tab here, and when it's time to separate the board, there's an image on the deck, but you're just going to take that tab and slide it up to the top, and then it just pulls apart. And you'll have a similar tab on both sides. He'll get his side first. I've got my side second, just like that. And then he's going to pull this his way. Instead of carrying it over the patient, we're just going to move it down beside the patient. Just like that, all right? So we want to get this piece underneath the patient first. So what I'm going to do is just kneel alongside the patient, and I'm just going to put a gentle little bit of a lean this way while she holds C-spine. And then Linwood, you're going to take this and you're just going to push it up underneath her, all right? Lakin, when we're doing that move, just hold traction and lift up on her head slightly so that that board can slide under, okay? Patient, are you ready? All right. Lakin, on you.
3, 2, 1.
Just a lift there. You can pull that hood out of the way if you need to, Linwood. There you go. And then I'm just going to settle her down right back on there. All right, now you're going to take a similar position here. And you're going to do the same thing, just from here and here, and you're just going to roll her up enough for me to get this board underneath.
Lakin, whenever you're ready.
So I'll get that side in, and then we'll get this side in. We'll get all of her hair out of the way. Okay, and then she's back down. And now she is in the middle of our board. We didn't have to do a complete log roll, just a typical scoop fashion. And then here she is. So we're going to take our straps and we're going to go crossed on the torso. Always going to do the torso first. There's one. And you can just cross your hands right there. And then this one's going to go across the hips. And then the legs. So the head blocks, typical to how we would normally put these on. Holding C-spine and just rolling them in from the side. We'll remove that one. And then she'll take over holding the outside of that. And then rolling this one in and replace that hand and hold it. And then we have just a single head strap. There you go. And just a single loop, so no confusion on where that goes. And we'll just snug that up. Just like that. How's that feel? Good? And there you go.